Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally sharing with you a video I've been promising for a very long time. Best Basics, the t-shirt edition. Now, I filmed a sneaker version of this late last year, and I will leave that linked up in the cards here if you haven't watched it and would like to go and have a watch. But essentially the whole idea with this was to kind of talk through brands which offer a particular item, like a staple in your closet, and go through whether or not it's really the best value for money. So for t-shirts, I mean, I do tend to think a lot of them are kind of one and the same, and generally what you're going to be looking out for is the type of material used, whether the material is opaque or not, because that could be something that's very important to you, and the way it fits. And obviously price is also going to be a big determining factor as to whether or not you're going to purchase something. So I have 11 t-shirts here next to me, ones which are very affordable and then ones which are a bit more expensive. Every single t-shirt that I'm going to be sharing with you today is under $100, as I don't necessarily think you need to spend more than that unless you have the budget to do so, or you really want to. You can get really great value for money, under $50 actually, and I also have some sustainable options too, or ethical brands. So hopefully there will be something for everyone. On screen, like I did with the sneakers video, I am going to have a little menu here where you can kind of just skip ahead if you would like to get to a particular brand to see what I have to say about it. And obviously this is just my opinion based on a set of criteria that I have put together. I have been wearing all of these t-shirts a lot. Like, this video has been, I want to say, more than 6 months in the planning, I think. So yeah, you know, I really have had a chance to put all of these tops to the test and really see how they're going to wear over time. And spoiler alert, pretty much all the same. So hopefully that'll give you a bit of an indicator of what is to come. I've used a 10-point marking system, which has been based on whether there are twisted seams, whether there's been any issues with the collar, like it stretching out, whether there's been any pilling or loose threads, or just even signs of pilling that may happen in the future, whether there are any holes, whether the fit or style is something that I personally like. I tend to like a relaxed fit that kind of cuts off around the hip, so easy to tuck into things. But on the other end of the spectrum, I also like something that has a little bit of a shrunken fit to it as well. The fabric is at 100% cotton, and that's my personal preference. You might like something that's got modal in it, or maybe another fabric woven in, just for the feel. Then wear and tear, so how is it worn over the, you know, X number of times that I have actually reached for it. Whether it is opaque, because I think if you're buying a white tee in particular, you do want it to be opaque. Whether there has been any fading to the color or graying to the color, because most of the tees here are white. I do have a couple of other colors though, just so that I could mix things up. And then also the price, and the price that I sort of set the bar as for getting a point was under 35 Australian dollars. So if the t-shirt cost more than 35 Australian dollars, it got docked a point. So hopefully that'll give you a bit of an idea. Again, I will have those on screen, and I will, as I run through all of the t-shirts, kind of tell you why I docked points if I have. The other thing I wanted to sort of mention before we get started, and this is just a really fascinating fact, or at least I thought so, that I learned in the last sort of 12 months, is that it takes around 6 months for the cotton to grow and then be harvested to make a t-shirt. So when you think about that in terms of the life of a t-shirt in your closet, I think that's pretty incredible, and I think we don't give as much thought to the entire process as a whole when we are shopping. But yeah, I just thought that was really fascinating. All of the t-shirts featured in this video were purchased using my own money, except for 2, and I will be sure to mention if they were gifted to me or a PR product. And in addition to that, I will be styling every one of these t-shirts up in an outfit, so you can see the versatility of a basic tee and why I think it is such an amazing essential to have in your closet. So I'm going to start with the first t-shirt, which is from Uniqlo, and you'll have to mind if I keep looking down. I've got all my notes here. So this is a 100% cotton tee with a crew neck. It retails for $14.90 Australian. All prices I mentioned will be Australian, and it is in a size small. This has a bit more of a loose fit to it. As you might be able to see, it's not 100% opaque. However, I have worn all of these with a nude bra, and this was fine with a nude bra. You couldn't see it underneath. So from that perspective, I think that's a win. When I say nude, I mean skin colored or skin toned. Yeah, I mean, I don't really think you can go wrong with this. I really like the fit. I think it's just a really nice, easy, basic crew, something that you could kind of dress up or dress down. So this one here I've worn 7 times, and it's held up really well. I gave this a 9 out of 10 just because I have noticed that the seams, I don't know how well you can able to see this, but the seams have started to twist, and that to me is just, you know, something I wish wouldn't happen. It is worse on some tops than with others, but just something I did want to flag. But otherwise, a really good basic, and you're getting incredible value for money. I always think Uniqlo is a great place to go if you're looking for those basic staples for your closet. So next t-shirt I wanted to talk about is from Organic Basics, and this is a crew tee. This one differed from all of the other t-shirts because it was the only one that wasn't 100% cotton. So Organic Basics is a sustainable clothing brand. They mainly focus on undergarments and loungewear, and they also have activewear. Really great. Actually, I really love their sports bra. I do believe I have a discount code for them, which if I do, I will leave that linked down in the description box below. Yeah, so this one's the only one that's not 100% cotton. So it's 95% organic cotton and 5% elastane, which gives it a bit of a stretch to it. Now, I have to say, out of all of the t-shirts, this one was probably one of my least favorites because I don't like the way that elastane feels when it is mixed with cotton like this. It doesn't feel as expensive as it was. It was $51.20 Australian when I did the exchange, and that doesn't count the quite expensive shipping cost as well. I didn't factor that into the price. I don't love the hand feel, and I actually don't really like the fit of this either because it's the type that kind of clings to your body a bit more. And if that's something that you're looking for, then this could be a really great option. But for me and for what I personally like, that was just one thing that didn't really draw me to this style. Now, I wore this top 6 times and I actually gave it a 6 out of 10, and the reason being that I didn't really find the fit very good. I actually found that it's a little bit tight around the shoulders on me, which felt a bit uncomfortable when I had it on. Also, it is sheer, so if you're wearing a nude bra or skin color bra underneath, you will see it through, which I think is one of the challenges with white t-shirts. The price as well, it's $51, which is relatively expensive, but it is a sustainable brand, so I mean, you are paying for that ethical manufacturing, and then also the fabric not being 100% cotton, but it is organic cotton, so there's that. But yeah, that was sort of my thoughts on the Organic Basics tee. And next t-shirt is from Madewell, and this one isn't a white tee. I went for a grey one just because the white was completely out of stock. This is their Northside vintage tee, and it kind of has this really nice sort of, I don't know how you would describe it. It's almost like a suede-y, felty feel. It feels really, really lovely. This has a bit more of a shrunken fit to it, classic crew neck, and yeah, it's a bit more of a slim fit as opposed to a really loose fit, and it has quite sweet capped sleeves, which I personally really love. The price of this one was $25.04 with the exchange rate, and I got this in a size small. In terms of how many times I wore it a total of 7 times, and I gave this a 9 out of 10. This is pretty close to being my perfect t-shirt. The only reason why I docked it a point was the fact that I feel as though the more I wear it, it is going to show signs of wear by starting to pill up, and I feel like when I run my hand over the fabric, it's kind of soft and it kind of has a little bit of fluffiness to it. I feel like I can tell it will pill in the future. But aside from that, I think this is a great option if you're looking for a slim fitting t-shirt, and really reasonably priced as well. The next brand that I have here is Everlane, and this is one of their 100% organic cotton t-shirts. I think this one might be called the box cut tee. It's really hard to tell because they tend to release new styles of t-shirts quite frequently, or they will re-release a style in new colors, and I can never really keep track. And all of their t-shirts have a slightly different fit, or they've been made with a slightly different fabric or in a different factory using different suppliers. So it can be really challenging to keep track, and I will try my best to link the correct one down below. Unfortunately, because I have had this one for so long, I'm not sure if they still have it available, so I will try and link to the closest one on their website. This is kind of a boxy fitting t-shirt. It is slightly cropped as well, which I don't know, you might be able to see here, but hopefully the cutaways will really demonstrate that. Now this one here retailed for 21 Australian dollars when I purchased it. I got the size small, and I've worn this one 11 times. I found it really comfortable. It's not as soft as some of the other t-shirts, but I think in terms of a basic tee, it does the trick. I gave this one a 7 out of 10. Now I found it was a little bit sheer, less so than the Organic Basics t-shirt, which is incredibly sheer, especially because it is more fitted. And I found that the fit wasn't my ideal fit because it's quite boxy and also kind of cropped. So you really want to wear this with something high-waisted if you want to tuck it in, or low-waisted, or kind of like a low to mid-rise if you want to be able to expose a little bit of midriff, which I'm not about to do. And the collar, I don't know if you can tell here, but it's starting to get a little bit warped, and also, as I mentioned before, it's a bit sheer. But otherwise, I mean, another good basic tee, and I think great that it's made with organic cotton too. All right, next t-shirt that we have is from Suzanne, and you're gonna have to mind if you see these marks here on a few of my t-shirts. I found from folding our tops and putting things in our wardrobe that I'm not sure what this is, but it's almost like it's from the tracks underneath and it's leaked. Maybe there's been some moisture in the house. I mean, we live in Sydney and it's quite a humid city, so I don't know if that's had something to do with it, but it has kind of destroyed a few things. So I've watched it multiple times. If anyone has any tricks or tips on maybe how to rectify this, it's on a lot of white t-shirts too. Bleach doesn't get it out. Let me know in the comments below because I would love your assistance. I've tried everything, I feel like. So this is the Suzanne Conrad t-shirt, and this is made from 100% organic cotton. Again, not a white tee, this is a grey one. This has probably one of the wider necklines out of all the t-shirts, and it's also, I think, the loosest t-shirt as well. I got it in the size small and it retails for $81 Australian, which, I mean, at the time, and this is all dependent on exchange rate, just having a quick look, this was the most expensive t-shirt that I've purchased, and I do really like it. I think it's very comfortable, easy to wear. It's again got that similar sort of a suede feel to the Madewell one. And this was one of the products I bought from Suzanne, which I think helped to shift my mindset, or at least my feelings about the brand. I've worn this 11 times and I think it's worn really well actually, considering. The only things I've noticed is, again, like the Madewell one, it almost feels like the more I wear it, it might get some pilling on the front, especially if you have a bag worn crossbody. Any areas where you're getting a bit of friction, you might notice that. And also the price, this one is so expensive, and what you're going to notice, especially as I go through the rest of the t-shirts, is you really don't need to spend upwards of $80 to get a great t-shirt, which is going to be a good basic in your closet. But the other thing I want to mention is the material on this one is quite thick, and I feel like probably one of the thicker sort of t-shirts in terms of lightweight tees that I have got here to show you. Okay, the next t-shirt is from Arket, which has slowly become one of my favorite brands to shop from. This one here is their lightweight crew neck t-shirt, I believe. They have two. There's one that is much thicker and that is fully opaque. It's obviously a lot weightier, and that one is much more expensive. I got the more affordable of the two. I will be sure to link the other one down below in case you want to go check it out and if that might be what you're after. I have it in kind of like the light beige, which has a slight yellow tone to it, and I'm really sorry if it's coming off a little bit overexposed on camera. This one here retailed for $33 Australian at the time of purchase, and I got it in a size small. I have worn this one 11 times and I really love just how soft it is. This one is just so incredibly comfortable to wear. I gave this an 8 out of 10 because the seams have started to twist, and also you can kind of see here that it is slightly sheer, so even with a nude skin colored bra underneath, you can kind of see that through, which is aesthetically not that pleasing on the eye, but a really nice fit, just really relaxed, easy to tuck into things as well, and I think it feels the same way it did when I first purchased it. Okay, the next t-shirt that I've got is from Divinius, and this one was given to me as part of a partnership that I did with them. I think it must have been 2 years ago now. Maybe I can link that video up in the cards if you'd like to go and have a watch. Still have my other items from them as well. They're just very easy to wear. This one's 100% combed organic cotton, and it is so comfortable. Again, it has slightly more of a wider crew neck, but it is very fitted compared to a lot of the other styles that I've got here. So if you want more of a slimmer fit, this might be maybe one of the ones to go for. This one here retails for $77 Australian. That was me checking the price today. So this is the second most expensive t-shirt. Again, what you're paying for, organic cotton. I believe they do slightly smaller orders, so they're not overproducing. You can actually see on their website how many items they've got remaining in stock. But yeah, they've got some really great initiatives. So if you are after a sustainable or ethical brand, then this is definitely one to have a look at. I've worn this one just 5 times, so I think this is one of the least worn out of every one that I've got to share. But it washes really, really well, and as I mentioned, it's so comfortable to wear. This one I gave an 8 out of 10 just because the cut is a bit more slim, and also because the price is over $35. I think out of all of them, this is one of the softest as well. So if that is something that's really important to you, then again, one to check out for sure. From a sustainable brand onto a fast fashion brand, the next t-shirt I have here is from ASOS. This is ASOS Design, so their own brand, and I have it in the UK 8. This is their 100% organic cotton t-shirt. Believe it's a basic staple that they have all the time, and you can actually feel the fabric of it is really, really nice. Except, and this is the thing I don't really understand, they've used this really cheap feeling trim around the collar, and I just think that kind of brings it all down a lot. I don't know if I mentioned the price, but it was only $12, so very, very affordable. I've worn this one 4 times. The fabric is actually quite thick, and as I mentioned before, it has a really nice hand feel, but I do find it is still a little bit sheer. I gave this one an 8 out of 10 just because it's got those loose threads. Actually, it's got 4 loose threads at the bottom, and also the seams have twisted just slightly. So this could be one where you notice the seams twisting a lot, considering that it's already happened after wearing it and washing it just a handful of times so far. So that is ASOS. Next t-shirt I want to talk about is another sustainable brand. This one is from Cotton, and I've been wanting to purchase something from Cotton for a really long time. A lot of my friends on Instagram who tend to focus a lot more on sustainable and ethical brands, they have been featuring Cotton for a long time, and it's just going to be really curious about the brand, and I admire their values. I'm going to say just from the outset that I'm not 100% thrilled with my first purchase, but that's not to say that I'm not going to buy from them again. I just wish maybe I'd added a couple of other things to my cart. The other thing I want to flag also is that shipping to Australia, if memory serves me, I have terrible memories of having a baby. It was very, very expensive, so I ended up using mail forwarding and consolidating it with a few other things I'd bought from another American retailer, as opposed to getting it shipped directly to Australia. So if you live in Australia, definitely something to consider. However, if you're based in the US or Canada, then I'd say it's probably a brand worth checking out if, you know, their values align with yours. In terms of what I paid for the actual t-shirt, it was $41 at the time of exchange. I got it in a size small, and I've worn this one 8 times. And I think the thickness of the fabric is really nice. It actually doesn't feel the same as the other cotton tees. This one's made from 100% Egyptian cotton. It kind of almost feels like there might be a teensy-weensy bit of elastane or spandex in there, but there's not. But yeah, it's very, very comfortable. The fit of this one is also unusual, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm not 100% through with it. It has a curved fit at the waist, so I prefer things, like I mentioned before, to kind of have more of a loose fit, to be sort of straight up and down, so that I can get structure and drape, and I get the fit that I want by tucking into things. Whereas this one, I kind of feel like it's just got this bizarre tapered fit in the waist, and it's not my personal favorite, but that might be something that you love. So I do just want to again highlight the fact that what I'm looking for in a t-shirt may be very different to what you are looking for in a t-shirt. In terms of the score that I gave this one, I gave it a 7 out of 10. The price being $41 over my $35 benchmark. The cut of it I don't love, and then also I have noticed that the seams are, oh god, sorry, it's so blown out, but the seams are so twisted, and it's just really frustrating. And maybe this is just something that happens with a lot of t-shirts, but I did find that quite a number of them didn't have twisted seams, so I'm not really sure what causes that. And actually, if you are a seamstress, I would love to know if you have any information on that, what potentially causes these seams to sort of warp and twist. Please tell me, because I'm curious to learn more. We just got 2 more. The next one is my most worn out of all of these, is my redone vintage t-shirt. I bought this when we lived back in our old house when we were still renting. So I think I've had this one for close to 4 years. I only started tracking what I was wearing in my wardrobe in 2018, in the summer of 2018. So I cannot tell you how many times I've actually worn this, but I'm going to say it's considerably more than what I've got noted down here. So I've got this in a size small. I purchased this for $70. I think I bought it from Shopbop. And yeah, I've worn it 29 times from 2018. So I've actually probably worn it closer to 50 plus times, I would say. This one has a little bit of a sheerness to it. And again, I'm so sorry, things are a bit blown out. And it's got a real vintage feel. It's a shrunken fit as well. And yeah, much more kind of closer cut to the body. It also isn't as long as some of the other t-shirts that I have shared in this video. I gave this one a 7 out of 10 because from a wear and tear perspective, I have noticed that there is a hole in the front. I'm still going to keep wearing it. I just noticed this week. So on around 50 wears, I got a little hole right down here. So something that I will be able to conceal when I'm tucking this into things. Also, the price being $70, it is quite expensive. And then the collar, I feel like it has this sort of very worn feel to it. Like it doesn't have any structure. It feels like I wouldn't say there's elastic in here, but any elasticity to the cotton has completely gone now. So the integrity of it has been compromised, I think is what I'm trying to say. But I love this, but I don't think you need to spend $70 on a t-shirt. I think there are so many other great options out there. Then the final brand I wanted to mention is Madewell, and this was the only other gifted item. So I've got 2 of their t-shirts here just so I can show you a side-by-side fit. One of them is in this really great cranberry color. So the one that I was sort of benchmarking it against is this one here, which is the box cut tee. It's 100% cotton. I also have their, I think this is just called their slim fit tee, which is 50% cotton and then 50% modal. So it has this really, really lovely kind of slinky feel to it. And this one is much more fitted towards the body. So just one to consider if you like the look of these. I mean, I found everything that I've owned from Madewell has worn really well. So this one here is a size small, and then the price is 46 Australian dollars at the time I did the exchange rate. I've worn this one 13 times, and I do quite like it, but I find because it is more of a boxy cropped fit, it is shorter. So I need to be wearing something really high-waisted in order to be able to pair this, but I love how soft it is. Again, it is quite sheer. So I give this one a 6 out of 10, which I think is the same score I gave the organic basic one, but this is for different reasons. So I gave it a 6 out of 10 because of the cut. I don't particularly love a boxy cropped fit. The price being over $35. The collar is still pretty good, but I have noticed that it is starting to get a little bit warped, which I can only imagine is going to get considerably more so over time. And then also, as I mentioned, it is slightly sheer, so doctor point for that as well. But otherwise, I mean, it's a really comfy t-shirt, and I just wish that they did these in a slightly longer silhouette, because then I think it would probably just be one of my go-tos, probably in a grey and a black. Now, if you wanted to know which one is my favorite t-shirt out of all of these, I've got 3, just for different reasons. So I love this Madewell one. I think the cap sleeves on it are really, really sweet, a little bit different to everything else. I can't say whether or not the white would be fully opaque, that's the only thing, but I just think it's a really nice fit, relatively slim and really affordable too. I love the fact that the collar, the neckline has just been, it's maintained its integrity, hasn't warped at all or anything like that, and the heathered fabric I think is nice too. It kind of adds a bit of texture to your outfit. Then I also really love my Arket t-shirt. I think that this is incredible value for money. I mean, obviously you do have to kind of contend with the fact that it is slightly sheer, but I think otherwise a really lovely oversized fit. And if you are able to purchase from Arket, definitely one to go for a basic tee. And then finally, my other favorite would have to be my redone t-shirt, which I think is just evident in the number of times that I've worn it. While it has a hole in it, and I mean, it is more expensive, but while it has a hole in it, I've worn this so many times. This has been so incredibly loved, and it was a purchase that I'm glad that I've made because I definitely got my money's worth out of it. And as I said earlier, I'm still going to continue to wear this despite the small hole. I do feel like I need to go to my tailor this week, so I might see whether or not she can repair it, as I'm not really sure how to tackle it on my own. I can use a needle and thread, and I know a bit about sewing, but I don't have a machine, and I don't really know how I would repair a hole like that without making it look too obvious. But yeah, that is my other favorite. Now, I do just want to end this by saying that one, you don't need this many t-shirts in your closet, and I really just did this as a way to research what the best t-shirt is. The second thing I wanted to highlight was the fact that price doesn't really seem to play much of a factor in terms of the wear and tear. So the price is generally indicative of other things like whether organic cotton was used, the ethical and sustainable manufacturing processes that are kind of behind the production of said t-shirt. There are a whole bunch of other factors that go into it, so definitely something worth keeping in mind, but you really don't have to pay oodles of money for a t-shirt if you don't want to or you can't afford to. There are tons of brands out there which do affordable options which are really going to see you through a long time, which kind of brings me to my final point, which is in terms of the wear and tear, you're going to find it's very, very similar from brand to brand. So I do hope that you found this really useful and insightful. I really don't think there's more I can say from. There's really not a lot in it in terms of the differences between t-shirts. So yeah, it's a very personal thing. But if you do have a favorite t-shirt brand, which I did not mention in this video, then please by all means share it down in the comment section below and give them some love so that other people can find those brands as well. Obviously I had a lot to kind of work through here, and I know this video is already very long. But yeah, I guess that's kind of all I really wanted to say today, and I just want to say a huge thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me, as I know that this is a bit of a lengthy video. Anyway, I will see you next time with a brand new one. See you soon. Bye.